This Week at Bungie is a weekly blog post posted by Bungie themselves every single Thursday to update us, the player base, about what's going on in Destiny 2. This week at Bungie, Bungie discusses the 6-year anniversary for the Destiny franchise. They go on to showcase some sneak peeks of the vendor armor and weapons for the Vanguard, Crucible, and Gambit, as well as talking about how they're going to be streamlining those game modes for Beyond Light. They start off by saying, suit up. A few TWABs ago, Luke Smith took some time to run through some changes to our philosophy and doing out rewards through the various activities in Destiny 2. Today we're going to be focusing on the core playlist rewards, which is going to be for Strikes, Gambit, and Crucible. To quote the article, here's what you can expect whenever Beyond Light comes out. We're going to be adding a new set of armor for the core playlist, which would be Vanguard, Gambit, and Crucible. The armor is going to share a new set of geometry with decals and shaders specifically to the activity, so no reskins. They're going to create new sets like this every single year, so for year 4, 5, and 6, and that this set will arrive alongside Beyond Light's launch. They then go ahead and give us a bit of a sneak peek as to what this armor is going to look like, and I gotta freaking say, man, that Crucible set is looking a little bit spice. I'm very excited to see what the Crucible set looks like across all characters. Not the biggest fan of the Titan Vanguard set, and the Gambit Warlock set is kind of, you know, I can live with it. It looks alright. It looks better than what we currently have, but I definitely gotta compliment that Hunter, looking pretty freaking spice. Now, moving on from that, they go and showcase a little bit of the weaponry, and specifically pursuit weapons that we're going to be seeing in Beyond Light. They say that additionally, year 4 will see the return of pursuit weapons. For those of you guys that may have joined our community in the last season or 2, these weapons have static perks but will allow for customization. The final 2 perk columns will have multiple perks to choose from so that you can tailor your weapon to your desired playstyle. Our eagle-eyed guardian may recognize this beauty from the recent stasis trailer. And here is a picture of one of the sniper rifles that I believe that you could see a warlock using after freezing a hunter in the Crucible. Now they go on to say that our goal is to have a pursuit weapon available per season and earned through a focused quest. So Banshee will give you a choice between Strikes, Crucible, or Gambit to earn the base model. So make sure that you take a moment to think about how you want to earn the weapon, as you'll be locked into specific objectives for whichever activity you pick. So basically this isn't going to force you into playing, you know, the Vanguard playlist. This isn't going to force you into playing Crucible or Gambit or anything like that. You can go throughout whatever avenue that you want to get these pursuit weapons. They say that once you finish the main quest, Commander Zavala, Shaxx, and the Drifter are going to offer you additional quests which are going to reward you with weapon ornaments the theme for their respective activities. If you're omnivorous and enjoy all 3 offerings, all 3 will be available to you. So you will be able to get these pursuit weapons and they will have their own unique design and everything like that. And then you will get some bonus quests, 1 each for every vendor, which is completely optional and is purely for cosmetics, which is a pretty great thing. I'm glad to see that Bungie is giving us more options to actually customize our weapons within Destiny without actually having to pay money. So you can see the Vanguard, the Crucible, the Gambit, all of these different designs and stuff. Not exactly the craziest different designs, but hey, if you want to earn ornaments for your weapons, Bungie is going to be giving you the option to do so. Moving on from that, they go on to say that now that we've caught your eye with some fancy armor and a new sniper, let's take a quick look at how things are changing for core activities as you launch into your new adventure on November 10th. Strike, Gambit, and Crucible playlists are going to be streamlined. So they start off with the Crucible. They say that starting in Season 12, the director will be updated to reduce the number of playlists available at a given time, and they give us an idea with this picture right here as to what the UI is going to be looking like. So it's a little bit more simplified. They say that the featured modes are going to be Control, Elimination, Rumble, and Survival, and say that both Survival and Survival Freelance will be available. They say the weekly Rotator playlist will be Clash, Mayhem, and Showdown. You will have private matches, and then limited availability, which is going to be Iron Banner and Iron Banner Freelance, which will make its debut in Season 12. Similar to Competitive, this will be a smaller node next to Iron Banner when the playlist is available. So for those of you guys that don't want to go against full stack teams, you can actually go into Iron Banner Freelance and basically have it to where every single person is a random, and it's a little bit more fair than just having a full team that's communicating versus a team that is not communicating. So a very good choice right there. And then they have the weekend availability, which will be Trials of Osiris, saying that Adept weapons are actually going to be rewarded to those that reach the Lighthouse with the return of Trials of Osiris in Season 12, and that they'll give us more details on this come October, which is a pretty good thing because going flawless in Trials of Osiris is quite useless at the moment. You don't don't really get any good rewards, as I've already been flawless multiple times now, and I would just kind of rather sit in the playlist and get tokens. It's a little bit better use of my time. Now, moving on from this, they go on and talk about the strike system, and they give us a little bit of a Vanguard preview as to what this screen is going to look like. They say that the Vanguard strikes and the Nightfall the Ordeal will be your two playlist options. Each playlist will continue to offer weekly challenges for powerful loot. Nightfall the Ordeal will continue to feature matchmaking at lower difficulties and increase rewards for higher difficulty options. And they say that they're going to be looking to add Adept weapons to strikes as well, and that they're going to offer some updates closer to Season 13 on what to expect. So pretty big fan of that as well. Glad that they're doing both PvP and PvE for Adept weapons. Now, for those of you guys that don't know what Adept weapons are, all the way back in Destiny 1, Adept weapons were practically elemental primaries. Back in Destiny 1, you had a primary, a secondary, and a heavy, and in Destiny 2, you have a kinetic, an energy, and a heavy. So it works a little bit different for Destiny 2. I'm not sure if this is going to function as a means of being an elemental kinetic weapon at the same time. I'm not exactly sure, meaning that you could have two elemental weapons on top of a heavy weapon. I don't know how they're going to be doing Adepts for Destiny 2. However, it's definitely something interesting to look into because Adepts were extremely powerful back in Destiny 1. Now, moving on from this, they give us an update as to what's going on with Gambit. They say, as covered last week, Gambit and Gambit Prime will be put into a single mode. We have some additional details on specific rule changes as well as development notes from the team on how things are changing and the goals behind them. So they go on to say, hi Gambiteers, we wanted to give you an explanation of rule changes coming to Gambit in November, as well as a key update from last week. They say that first, some of the goals that they wrote down before starting was that they wanted to build a more approachable Gambit Prime, keeping the one-round format with a longer round, but without the Gambit Prime armor perks. They wanted to rebalance the moat phase to last 2/3 of the match instead of half, and they wanted to speed up the primeval fight to give more of a feeling of a boss rush. Then they give this huge line of text right here, which feel free to pause the video and check out. I am not the biggest fan of Gambit, I don't think I ever will be, but this is a very specific insight as to what they're going to be doing for Gambit, so if you do like Gambit, make sure to pause the video and make sure to give this a read. They end up wrapping things up by saying, overall, this mode will be a little quicker than Gambit Prime, mostly due to the shortening of the boss phase. And the removal of the larger bosses from the fronts, but one that still gives that great Gambit feeling that you all love. I don't know about that one, but there you go. That is actually the This Week at Bungie post for today, which is of course September 10th of 2020. All in all, I actually wasn't expecting there to be a lot in today's TWAB, but I was pretty much, I was fairly surprised actually. I'm very glad that they gave us an insight as to what the armor is going to look like, the pursuit weapons and how that's going to work, and the ability to get stuff like cosmetics. Of course, you know, them talking about Adept weapons for trials and for the strike playlist, as well as Iron Banner freelance, all of that kind of stuff is really good for the game, and I'm very glad to hear it, as well as the Crucible changes in general, with them streamlining the game modes to make, you know, less game modes, but have them a bit more impactful and more people in those playlists. I do welcome that as well, although I'm not the biggest PvP fan. I definitely think that it's good for the game. Of course, with the strike playlist just having strikes and the Nightfall instead of all these other icons all over the place, which could definitely confuse newer players, I think that's a pretty good change as well. I just kind of wish they would have kept the daily heroic mission playlist, kind of like back in Destiny 1, and actually made it useful to us to kind of give us a reason to run it every single day. I kind of wish that that was here in the strike playlist, but maybe one day they'll end up bringing it back. But that's pretty much my only criticism from this TWAB. I liked everything that they talked about, so let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I have plenty more videos on the way. An Izanagi guide is going to be releasing very soon, as well as a guide on some weapons that you want to focus up on before Beyond Light comes out. Got plenty more content dropping on the channel soon, so make sure to keep your eyes peeled. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all next time.